Before I go to my presentation, I have a question to you as a demos. There was a lot of said about how crucial education is in bringing up the new world with the help of new technologies. My question is about your belief. Do you believe if new technologies will change the school education for better, for worse, or they won't change anything because the school lives its own life and they don't really matter? So please, those of you who think that new technologies will change school education for better, hands up and look around so that you see what the result of the opinion poll is. Okay, thank you. Those who think that they will change it for worse because it's a distraction, hands up. Courageously. Okay, we have some representatives of this opinion. And those who think that new technologies doesn't really count, doesn't matter in education, hands up. Okay. Okay. We have a very interesting opinion poll. Unfortunately, because of time constraint, I don't have occasion to ask you for arguments for your convictions, but maybe during the discussion part we can come back to this. And I think that we still don't know if new technologies will lead to innovation or frustration in education. And at the same time, it's the place where innovation is really, really necessary. It was said by many of the speakers here. Parents say that, and even students say that. I'm representing a center which has begun with citizenship education, just lessons and different activities, human rights education. But very soon we have understood that in order to have real young citizens, we have to change the school. And now we are involved in whole school reform, trying to change the culture of the school for wiser and for more open, and also for, as someone said here, more tolerant to failure. Some people ask if school education really needs new technologies. Can't we just, work as we have done it? I think we have no choice. Just look at them. This is a short movie. I won't show it because I don't have time, but I will send it's on YouTube, of course. And the title of the video is Let Us Do It. And this is a movie prepared by a group of students from a school in Silesia, which started something which I called e-revolution at their school, fighting for Wi-Fi. And they have succeeded. And this is a campaign which accompanied their revolution. They also engaged some other schools from the place. So we have students on our side. The second thing which we have on our side is the world. The world is changing, and education has to change. Otherwise, it will be no longer relevant for what really young people need. But it's very hard to innovate. Maybe I'll come back once more to this. There is a question if new technologies can help changing teacher into a guide more than the sage on the stage. Someone who is able to teach and cultivate the soft skills such as entrepreneurship, communication, cooperation, not only subject knowledge and factual data. Can new technologies help? Yes, they can. But with every time when you hear this, yes, we can, there is a trick here. There is no guarantee. It has to be done. Too often, ICTs, as they are used in Polish schools, and not only Polish schools, are just mimicking the old chalk and talk school. It's very hard to ICT innovate in school. I don't know if it's my invention, this word, but I like it, ICT innovate. And why is it so hard? It's not because of technology. It's because of the mindset, of the intimidation of teachers and the school as a system with something new, with new technologies. And also with the lack of trust, lack of social capital, which in Poland is a big problem, but also in Polish schools. I will tell some words about the project that we have been doing for some years, which started 11 years ago. We are doing it together with the biggest Polish daily, Gazeta Wyborcza, Polish-American Freedom Foundation, and many other noble partners. The important thing is that we have started 11 years ago, and 4 years ago we have understood that the problem that the schools and students have with wise use of ICT becomes one of the crucial problems of Polish schools. And so we have started the school with Class 2.0 project. And I have to admit that we wouldn't be able to have this work with the students, if not with the schools, if not for new technologies. Everything, almost everything, happens on the and thanks to new technologies. There is an e-platform, e-courses, and moderators, blogs, everything. What's important and it's a big innovation for Polish school, that to try to let and get teachers and schools share what they are doing. We have a very much individualized school, a habit of closed doors of the classroom, in a metaphorical but also in a very real way. One of the things that we have created, one of many tools, I won't show all of them, it's a Pinterest with 1,400 good practices of the teachers describing the things that they did, also the problems that they had, and the questions that they are posing to others. Please help me, how would you use this material in your work? A big thing that can be done and it can change education is flipping the classroom. And here, e-resources from Google, from Wikipedia, from many platforms are a big hope. You can see children who have studied Khan Academy materials, and then during the lesson they are really practicing it. So it's changing the homework and the lecture part. Lecture, you listen at home to a material recommended by a teacher, and then you really debate, experiment, or do other things. I will just look at the photos. Don't read the text. I will just go quickly through the next examples that we are practicing and that we are trying to implement in Polish schools. Project and problem-based learning. You can even see a guy, and this is was a group project. They constructed a whiteboard by themselves for less than 50 euro. So if there are any people who are producers of whiteboards, beware of projects. Learning by teaching. The old Chinese wisdom is saying that if you want to learn something, teach it to someone. And here you see on the right side, upper photo, lady, a grandma of one of the students. The whole class prepared a lesson to include digitally their grandparents. And this is the lady who has for the first time watched the weather report, and the lesson ended with the grandparents setting email accounts and sending emails of thanks to their granddaughters and grandchildren. Blogging, it sounds trivial, but we have around 1,000 blogs. I can't show it to you, but please go to if you Google blog reporter Chwalibogowo, you will see what that guy on the right side, what they are doing. They are having Skype lessons. But they also have decided to transform a piece of a wasteland just near their school into a playground. And they are filming, they are shooting how they are doing it. It's really moving. Schools should get connected, not only between themselves. It's a sort of a symbolic broadband to students and also to the outside world. And it counts in small schools like the one down there from a place with 600 inhabitants, and the big one from suburbs of Warsaw, one of the richest probably schools in Poland. And I want to tell you about the worldwide invention and innovation that we have introduced, and I want to promote it also in Visegrad and maybe elsewhere. This is something that we call School Codes to Zero. We ask the students themselves to decide the rules of the use of ICT in their school. And this is, you see, this is also for young children, and they are really quarreling about it, and it's a sort of a self-limited revolution. Nowhere students decided to have free access to mobile phones without any limits during the lessons. They know that it would distract them. So, school codes, this is something that I would like you to remember. This is the example of it, because the time is running up. I watch. So just one thing I would like to finish with. That very often digital natives, because of the new technologies that all of you and startups and the big world is offering, they have a premonition of big power. They think they have access to information, it's easy to communicate, they can set up their own beautiful profile on Facebook or wherever, but this is very often just false consciousness, because this is not real power. This is some sort of a, it has to be translated already. This looks more like this, and it has to be translated by school education into real power. Real power meaning giving voice and real impact to young people. It can be in the class, as in the left photo, in their community, in the parliament, or in global actions. So, thank you for your attention. I hope that you see how difficult it is, and that in order to count on education, we have to really be patient.
Alicja, before you go away,
yes?
One question. There's resistance out here in the audience. There's skepticism.
Yes.
You saw it at the beginning. And I'm sure you're facing that on a local level as well. What's your argument? What's your elevator pitch to get them to say, yeah, you're right? What do you say?
The resistance is mostly on the side of teachers, because students are all for it. There are numerous examples where this is the students who have asked the teachers to turn on. I was present at the big young people forum about how education should change, and the main appeal of the students was, teachers, please, turn on. So this is students. Also, the second thing is that with new technologies, you can really not only communicate better, not only, send emails to the parents or know what's going on in your school, but also you can teach deeper. You can teach really very deep, because you have a lot of information in specific areas where your students' passions are located or can be located if they meet a role model like Peter Arvai or someone else. So the new technology gives teachers a lot of freedom, but this freedom has to be yet understood and used wisely.
Right. Alicja, thank you very much. Alicja Pacewicz. Thank you, Alicja. Thank you.